By the 1960s, New York's subway system best resembled an overflowing bowl of spaghetti. With its maps failing to navigate it, it left New Yorkers fed up, yearning for a drastic change.
Such a controversial thing, It's funny, but I realized the other day the mistake I made.
Enter here an interview with the international designer Massimo Vignelli, looking back on his resolution to logically translate New York's entire subway system onto one piece of paper. Like a modernist bulldozer, Vignelli rejected all mapping hitherto and unveiled his reductive Helvetica-driven schematic masterpiece in 1972. But why wasn't the water blue? Why did Central Park shrink to 1/3 of its size? And where the is Staten Island? His poorly received map only lasted 7 years before the howls of the now even more pissed off New Yorkers persuaded the Transit Authority to replace it. Which begs the question, is it good design? Vignelli's minimalist makeover ignored a lot more than just the city's iconic grid structure. In his radical approach to untangle the spaghetti, topography was made abstract by rounding and smoothing its outlines. Vignelli rearranged subway stops, vanished neighborhoods, reduced tracks to color-coded lines, and rationalized directional change to only 45 and 90-degree angles. However, this cartography practice wasn't that radical at all. He was inspired by the 1933 London tube map designed by an electrical draftsman Henry Beck. Beck defined his design as a diagram rather than a map to validate the jettison of above-ground caricatures and the geological truth for clarity. Transit maps of cities like Moscow, Paris, and Berlin similarly began to distort and emphasize a geometric landscape. Vignelli's map sought to wed America to this Euro-modernist approach, critically acclaimed as a masterpiece of reductive, minimalist, and aesthetic design. Yet without text, it wasn't the New York people knew. So why was the map not well received? Was it bad timing? As during its release the Underground was known as criminal territory, and its anxious commuters needed something familiar to quickly lessen their time spent underground. Perhaps it would have suited less iconic geography. Maybe it was because its forward-thinking design required a hefty 182-paged explanation, more suitable for the interactive technology of today. Or was it simply just the fact that New Yorkers had an ingrained image of their distinctive city, which the diagram just didn't allow for? The long existence of this argument indicates that Vignelli's reductive brilliance ultimately opposes to the definition of good design, failing to solve the initial problem.